So today we'll begin with the move command. So let's just refresh it. Okay? I'm somewhere in my file system. How will I know where am I exactly right now? Which command? Anyone?
PWD?
Yeah, correct. Yes. So PWD tells me I'm inside my home user directory.
Sir, can you zoom a little bit?
Yeah. Better?
Yes, sir.
So a PWD shows me that I am in this directory. So now I want to list out all the files in my directory. So what should be done?
all ls minus a.
ls minus a will give me the hidden flags. I'll just do a simple ls. This shows me that in here I got this many directories, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what let me show you something else a bit deeper into this. I'll not need the a command. Okay, wait. I'll just zoom out a little. So this is ls minus a. So guys, can you see this side?
I cannot see the screen.
Anyway, nobody can see that, or are you having some sort of technical difficulties? Guys, can you see this?
Sir, we can see.
Yeah, now we can see. Yes, we can see.
Oh, okay.
Now we can see it, yeah.
Okay. So guys, you see these things which are in blue, and there's this one that's in green, right?
Yes.
Let me tell you the difference. Yeah, I would have zoomed in on this one, but the issue is if I zoom in, you guys might be having an issue. But okay, let's see. Okay, we'll keep to this one.
You can see. It's better now.
No, actually, I didn't want this to be in this line. Okay. Guys, we have like this for educational reasons. So just have a general idea. You guys see that these are in blue and this is in green, right?
Yes.
So what, as it happens to be that these are all are directories, and this one is a file, an ISO file, but still it's not a directory. So this is in a different color. But that's not the issue. That's specific to the that you are using and stuff like that. What I wanted to point out is, can you see this particular portion? The initial here, it is written D RWX R-X R-X. Do you see that in front of these blue stuff? There's this D thing appended, but here it's just a dash. Can you just?
Yes, sir.
So what it basically means is D stands for directory. So these are all are directories, and this is a file. What kind of file? How will we know that? Last day I told you guys a command for the same. We'll just do the command itself is file, and then we put in the file name. As you can see, it is a ISO file for Black Arts Linux. So
Yeah.
this was just a brush up. So we'll be going for something a bit more today. Let me create a simple file. For that we do ISO, right? We'll create a simple folder, and for that we use mkdir command, and we'll call that folder ISO. Now we'll move into this folder using the command cdiso. Sorry. So now we are at ISO. Clear, everybody? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, cool. So as you can see, this file is empty. ls command doesn't give me anything. That means basically this file is empty. Now we can do two interesting stuff here. The basic operations which come next are move and copy commands, which we do it as Control C, Control V. In Linux, we have even I believe a simpler approach, that is CP. CP stands for copy, like it's self-explanatory. What I'll do is, I'll give the name of rather than the name, I'll say that the exact path of the file which I want. Suppose I want to move my Black Arch ISO in here. I want to copy that rather. What I'll do is, I'll just CP give the exact path, and when I exact path, I mean that the path from the root file system. So first I'm inside this folder because I'll just look at it. I've come back to my main under user thing, and if I do a pwd, you see this is giving me a path of this folder. Now I'll just move into ISO, and you see again I have an exact path. So what I'll do is I'll put on the previously selected path home slash my username, and from there I'll give the name of the file I want to move in, blacker.iso, and after that I'll give the path where I want to move it in. Be very careful about this. First is the file you want to move in, second is where you want to move it. So I'll give the same my entire path to the current folder, and it will take some time because it's a considerably big file. It's around 15 GB, but it's just like the Windows mechanism. It's moving. It's coming back here. So tell it, let's copy it. Let me see if somebody is in the lobby. Yes, somebody is. Great. It's going to take some time. I'll just open up a new terminal.
So what's the flag that we can use so that we can even get the information that the file is getting copied? I mean, what percentage of file has been copied?
For that, there is a flag called -v, which is the verbose flag. It basically gives you the status of things as they happen. But sometimes I find it too clumsy at times because it takes up your terminal space and it looks ugly.
Okay, thank you.
So, in fact, the -v flag is universal, I guess. Like in most Linux commands, if you want a comprehensive approach of, you want to see what's happening, how much of a process has occurred, you can use this -v flag. So till it copies, I'll just move to my make folder, and let me create a shorter file. Okay, so I'll just create a small file called touch. Let's say I'll give this a short one. I have created a file which is a short form of ZeroDollarSecurity, and now I'll just go into this ISO folder. Press me and zoom it a little. Again, I'll give the absolute path. Oh my god, it's lagging so bad. Oh. And I'll again give the absolute path right here. This should take a shorter period of time. However, my disk is in utilization. As you guys can, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, it's done.
Sir, how can we copy the previous results we have get? Like the
Yeah,
address.
I didn't get you.
How we can copy the previous results we get?
Previous resource.
Results, sir. Just like location of file.
Like what I'll come to that in a moment. So as you can see that this file is still in the process of being copied, but we copied the ZDS file right here, correct? You guys can see the ZDS is here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
So that's a simple copy paste. So I'll now remove ZDS. I'll use a short command called rm. More on that later on. We'll be covering. And guys, as I received a feedback last day that it's better if we conduct the doubts at the end of the session. So what I'll do is I'll quickly cover 5 to 6 commands, and then I'll address the joint doubts to facilitate better understanding and a smoother workflow. So okay, so what we basically did was we copied the file. Now what if using a similar approach we can even copy our directories and stuff. Okay, a little bit of shortcuts here. Suppose I'm at ISO, right?
Bro, you muted yourself, bro.
Can't hear you, bhai.
Sorry guys, sorry, extremely sorry. It keeps happening, I don't know why. Okay, so I'll just come back to the thing at hand. So there's a little trick in here. Suppose I want to move up a directory. Like right now I'm at this particular file. I want to just move up a directory. Oh, wait a second. I'll mute everybody. Okay, so what I'll do is I need to move up a directory. I'll do cd double dots and see here I am. If I do a pwd, I have moved up a directory. As you can see, earlier I was at home user ISO, now I'm under home user. So this is a little trick. In fact, wait a second, my laptop is lagging a lot. Okay. Suppose I'll again go back to my ISO file and I want, if I do a pwd, you see now I want to move up two directories at a time. What I'll do is cd double dot slash double dot, and if I do a pwd, you see I've moved up two directories. So it's a shortcut and which helps a lot, especially in case of certain web-based attacks like LFI, RFI and stuff. We'll come to that in a later session. So another little trick is, suppose I want to go to my the home folder of my user, that is cd space is tilde something. If I enter here, you see I'm here. Earlier I was under the home directory, now I'm here. Another last but not least is, if I want to go to the root directory, that's a simple cd slash, and if I do a pwd, you can see I'm under the root directory, and by the root directory I mean everything which runs in the system is here, and these are the things you should not mess with. Okay, we got 4 people. Yeah, we got 2 people in the lobby. Okay, so I'll just quickly jump to my user's home directory and let's get back to the things at hand. So yeah, now suppose I'm here. I want to, I'll just list out my file names. Okay, now suppose I want to copy the ISO folder into my, not ISO, that's heavy. Let's copy this desktop into core. Or either I'll do the other way around. I'll copy code into desktop. So see, desktop is perpetually empty except for an untitled folder. I'll copy code here. So lastly, what I said was, we'll give the entire file structures address. Okay, we were copying code. Hello. Yeah. Any question? If you guys have any questions, then please, after some time, for the time being, if you guys can't hear me or have any technical issues or are unable to understand a very particular statement which I just explained, then you can just feel free to ping me up. So what I was saying is, suppose I'm inside this desktop folder, right? And I want to copy something here. So I need not specify my current directory. What I'll do is, I'll specify the exact path of the folder or file I want to copy, and I'll just put a single dot. So now I get an error, which is cp minus r not specified, omitting the directory this. So why did I get this error? Let's move up home and I'll get into code, cd into code. As you guys can see, this code directory is not empty, right? I've got a lot of stuff. I've got some programs which I've been writing. I've got some spice programs running. I've got some web application stuff running. So these are not empty folders. That's why I got the error. So to overcome this, as it's specified previously, let's see, do we have that? Yeah. You can see this, here it is written cp minus r not specified. Minus r stands for recursive. We will be learning about minus r and another flag called minus f when we study about the move command. So what I'll do is, I'll just quickly jump back to my desktop. So again, I'll just bring back my old code. Okay. So what I'll do is, I'll just include a minus r flag. minus R does what it does, it's recursively copies. Like it copies the directories and the stuff inside the directories and so on till there's nothing there. So I hit the enter command and see I have code here. Code with all its contents. You see, it's everything is here. So that's the copy command. So any questions? Any questions with the copy command? Yeah.
Sir,
We had a question.
not unable to join. They are texting in Telegram group.
Okay, actually, as you guys can see, I don't have any requests right here.
Okay.
Okay, I
Okay.
got one person logged.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question. Like, if I'm in a folder, which is interior folder, I think in desktop and something under this folder.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if I know a folder name, how can I jump from there to that folder?
It's okay.
Are you
So
getting my question?
yeah, I got your question very well. Suppose right now I am in code, right? Let's get deeper. Let's get deeper. Um, Now you can see I'm inside this very long piece of code. You can see I'm inside this particular directory with a long name. And in another terminal, I'll just go to my desktop. Okay, let's find another folder with equally large number of files. Okay, let's go to this tools folder. Do we have anything here? So inside tools, I have this folder, right? Okay, let's get as deep as we possibly can. Okay, so this portion is fine. If I do a pwd, this is again a long folder, right? I'll just partition my screen. So we have to get, okay, better now, guys. So we have to get from
Yes, sir.
here to here. Okay, we have to get from here to here. So what I'll do is cd, then I'll put this tilde symbol. Tilde symbol, what it does is it takes me to this particular part, home who killed DB. So I can just omit this part. Okay, so I'll backslash because this particular thing is equivalent to this whole stuff. Okay, wait, I'll just also number it admit this person. Okay, now what I'll do is I'm under here. Next I have to just put in the file names. I'll put in TO. Now there's a trick. I'll hit the tab command. If I just T and press tab, it gives me the name of all the directories which start with the name T. So you can see I have 3 directories which start with the name T. But as soon as I put 2 and hit the tab button, what it does it auto completes. So I'll put tab, then I'll again put tab because there are no other folders under this, and then I'll again hit tab because there are no other folders, so it has only got one option, and I hit enter. And if I do this pwd, see, I'm back here. Okay, cool. Is the question answered?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So these are the little tips and tricks you will figure out yourself. Okay, getting back. Thumbnails are too much. I'll just clean. So we are done with the copy command. Now I'll just move back to my home. So yeah, now what I'll do is I'll be moving stuff. Everybody knows the difference between moving and copying, right? Copying means you get a copy, you preserve a copy, and in move you just take the whole entire thing and bring it back. So for that, okay, so let's go through another function first, or no, let's do this. Here I'll just create a small let's call $0 security. Okay, so as you can see, there's just a file called $0 security, and I see it in the untitled folder, which is empty. I want to move $0 security from there to here. What I'll do is there's a command called mv, because mv stands for move. Pretty much self-explanatory. I'll give the path where this thing is located. So again, I'll show you guys a shortcut. This is just one folder above, right? We are under untitled folder, and it is inside desktop, right? So basically, it's just one folder above. You are getting me, guys? What I'm trying to say here? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So what I'll do is I'll just put two dots and a slash. Two dots and a slash takes me to the folder below. And if I hit type in Z and put a tab, you see it auto completes it. And then I'll put a dot. So you need to understand the expression here. This part takes me to the one folder above, and this dot implies that move this thing here. Okay. So as soon as I hit enter and do ls, you see $0 security has been moved. If we go back a directory and we ls, see earlier we had this $0 security file right here, but now it is inside this folder. So that's not the end of it. Suppose we want.
So can you explain this again?
Okay, I'll do this again. For the time being, I'm muting you guys. If you guys have any issue, just unmute yourself again and start. So what I'll do right now is I'll explain that again with another file. You guys remember in desktop we had this file called code. We had copied it. What we will be doing is we'll be moving it right here. So we'll do mv. We put two dots and a slash to move into the directory above. We are in untitled folder, which is under desktop. So this takes us to this particular part, to desktop. And now we'll put in the name of the folder which we want to copy, code. So we want to copy code. And where do we want to copy code? Here. So we can also put in the exact path, but for the shortcuts we'll put a single dot and it will give us an error. Hopefully. Okay. It didn't give us an error. That might be because I have changed my shell. But usually, often it happens that if you get an error, it will be the similar kind of error as with CP. So what you will do in those situations is include the -R flags. This has been fixed in some recent updates, but usually it takes the -R flag as well. So it's not an issue. So now there's another functionality to the move command. So right here we have, we are under code. I'll just move up a directory and I'll do an ls. So see, we have this $0 security thing in here. What we want to do is we want to change the name of this file. We do this using the move command itself. What we do is we type in mv. Sorry, that's not it. Okay, we type in mv. We put in the name of the file. Let's say $0 security, and now the name of the new name which we want to assign it. What I'll do is I'll just put on ZDS. So as soon as we do an ls, see the previously. Oh, sorry for this. So previously we had $0 security, and now we have ZDS. So that's another functionality of the move command. So while I admit more people, any questions for this, for moving or renaming?
I can explain CP once again.
CP.
Could you our last command?
Excuse me, whoever is asking the question. I'm having some issues with this audio, I guess. Can you just write it in the group if you don't mind?
Could you please re-explain the last two commands?
Last two commands means CP and MV, or the modifications of M. Which one are you asking for?
CP special.
CP and MV are basically the same. What we do is, I'll just give you a rough functionality. Here see, what CP basically does is it copies files and directories. So you have a source and you have a destination. What you do is you put in the CP command, you put in the source of the file which you want to copy, and you put in the destination. The relative or exact paths depending upon where you are and what kind of syntaxes are you using. That's it. And when you want to copy a directory or move a directory, you have to use the -r flag to recursively copy it specifically, because what the -r flag does is it does is it takes the directory and all the files and subfiles, subfolders in it, and copies it as a whole. So that's the basic functionality of it. And if you want to go into the deeper functionalities, extra flags and options which you might be having, you can always refer to the man page. So with that, I'll just quickly move on. We got CTMV, we got, okay, next thing is removing files. So guys, see, here we have a file and a folder, right? Somebody's in the lobby, I'll just let him in. Okay, here we have a file and a folder as well. So to remove a file, we have to type in rm and the file name, as simple as that. So
how to know it is a file or a folder?
How to know it is a file or a folder? Okay, I'll just create this file once again. Likewise, I said there are two ways. In most shells, what happens is there's a color difference, and more technical thing will be do an ls-l. In front of directories and folders, we have this D flag. In the case of files, if you notice, we don't have any such flag. So that's the primary difference which you can use to differentiate them.
So does the CP and movie command is used for only directories, or you can copy files also?
If you remember right now, first I copied a file and then I copied a directory. It's the same.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Can we remote from the rm command?
Yeah.
Can you show some?
I'll not take.
So what's the meaning of this recursively copying a file to folder?
Recursively copying a file. Okay. Okay, I'll show this. So what I'm doing right now is ls star. Ls star basically what it does is it shows the file and their contents. So see, code has three things. Folders or subdirectories beneath it. What it basically does is it recursively copies. Like it copies the folders and the subfolders and the files in it, and it uses a bottoms-up approach to copy it. Those who are into programming, they will know that what a recursive function does. It's the same definition which applies here as well. It's the same old recursiveness, the pattern which we follow. So that's what the recursive or -r flag stands for. So okay, I'll just without further ado, I'll just move into this. I did not address the question on the rm command because I'll teach it right now. So what I'll do is I'm under this under this big set of directories. I'll quickly create a file. Let's say again ZDS. So what I'll do is to remove this file, it's a very simple command, rm zds, and with ls it's gone. But there's something very important which you must know. When you do the rm, if you remove something from the rm command, it does not get in the trash. It does not get saved in a recycle bin, but if you delete it manually from a file manager or stuff like that, it gets saved in a recycle bin. So similarly, what happens is that I'll continue on. If I try to delete either of these, suppose I want to delete spice, I'll get an error. Cannot remove spice. It is a directory. Or let's try to remove web stuff. We get a similar error. It's a directory. So now there are two methods we can do. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a doubt. If we copy and we delete the files using -r, means it is recursively deleting the files of the directory.
I'm coming to you. We don't need the recursive flag for files because for files it's just one same thing. But yeah, I'll come to deleting folders. Now to delete folders you have two options. I don't know if either of them RMDI has been decrypted it or not, but we have this folder option called RMDIR, and then I put in the name of the folder RM Spice. So you see, we are getting a error that this is not empty. But if you suppose we make a empty directory, suppose we call it to delete, and then we use RMDIR to delete. See, it's gone. So basically, if you do an ls, you can see it's no longer there. It's basically equivalent to the Windows operations where when we try to delete a directory or a file and it says that non-empty directory, we want to delete it. So it's equivalent to that prompt. But now,
Sir, can you please explain this again?
okay, have you tried deleting a folder in Windows which contains some stuff? It
Yes.
shows a prompt whether you want to delete it or not because it is non-empty, right? Hello?
Yes, sir, right.
So similarly, if you want to delete a file out of, sorry, not a file, rather a folder, which is non-empty using the rmdir command or the rm command, it shows an error that it is not empty and we cannot delete it. But in case of empty files, in case of empty folders, we see that we can use rmdir command to delete them. So now we'll go for the use the rm command to delete the non-empty file. So what we do is, as correctly pointed out by somebody just before, we use the add flag. What copy was doing with the add flag using the recursive technique where it was deleting from the everything inside the directory, rm minus r flag does just the same. It deletes the directory and everything inside it. So as you can see right now, we have three directories right here: mun mailer, spice, and webstar. I'll delete webstar. rm minus r webstar. And if you do an ls, it's gone. Earlier we had a fault, right? That it cannot be deleted. Now it's gone.
And we also have to put a backslash after that file name.
No, it's not necessary. Actually, I use something known as a I used a tab completion, and that's why it included the backslash.
Okay.
Sir, hello.
It's very helpful because you don't need to type in long file names on your own. Hello.
Sir,
Yeah.
is there, what is the main function of this backslash?
Backslash is basically divides.
What does it convey?
Okay. Let me show you guys a hands-on example. I am inside my home folder, right? If I do an ls start, it shows me where I am. So right now, if I want to move to cd spice, what without a backslash it will look like is code spice. See error. How will I know whether code spice is a single directory or whether I want to move inside code and spice? So it separates these two. You're getting my point. It separates the directory names. So code slash spice. Now I know I'm inside spice which is under code. So that's the logic of it. But there's another very tricky thing right here. I'll just move up two directories. I'll be muting people, sorry. Okay, so now you can see I have an untitled folder, and if I want to move inside it, and if I want to do the tab completion, you see, this one is not required. I'll just move inside that. This is not the same slash as before. So what this slash is used for, whenever we have spaces in our file names, we need to specify it in this manner. We have to put this slash and then a space. So that's another logic where slash is used, a different kind of slash, but still. There are only three kinds of slash. Yeah.
Can we use the man command for the flags?
Yeah, that's where we get the flag. Suppose later on we'll come across a tool called nmap, which is used for scanning websites and stuff. and it has lot of flags. Like a usual nmap scan will take around 3 to 4 flags, and I personally forget what each of them do. So I go for the man command itself. As you can see here, we have the entire flag list, what the flag does. So yeah, it's always in the man command. So the doubts with slashes are clear. If you have any further doubts about slash, I sincerely ask you to contact the manager of Guns N' Roses. Okay, so I'll just move on to the next. Do we have anything? Yeah. Yeah. I'll
Can I ask a
copy
question,
the.
sir?
Yeah, sure.
Sir, will this session also be uploaded on YouTube?
Yeah, hopefully if everything goes right.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So what I'm doing right now is I'm copying a very big word list. Okay. Word list is used in brute forcing passwords and stuff. Basically, it's a list of words.
So what is this path you are writing after copy command? User share
This
word
is
list.
actually I want to copy this text file, which is located inside this folder right here. So that's why I specified the path for it.
Okay.
As you can see, if I cat this out, common.txt, you see this is a very big list of words, nothing else. Okay, a very big list of words. So suppose I want to find out whether a particular word is in here or not. So that I can do with the help of grep command. Oh, before that we have to come across something known as piping. Everybody knows that there are three kinds of in streams, right? There's a stdio, there's a std out, and an std err. Everybody knows this, hopefully.
Explain.
No, sir.
Most. Okay, so basically stdio is basically the standard input is in the lobby. And I'll be muting everyone. Another person. Oh. So what happens is there's stdio, which stands for standard input, means whatever we give input to a function or a command. And there's std out, which is the standard output. There's std error, which is the standard error. What the pipe does it takes the output of one and serves it as the input of another, right? Suppose I want this is first I'll go to the grep command. So let me first give an insight. Man grep. See, there's so many names for it. We just call it grep for now. It prints the line that matches a particular pattern. I'll type in something. If you don't understand, don't panic. I'll explain. Okay. So let's break it down in parts. Before we do that, what does the cat command do? Anybody? Explain me this part because this hasn't previously explained.
Execute the folder.
Just no, wrong.
It gives
Content inside the
event.
folder.
It prints the
Shows the
content.
content inside the folder.
No, not the
That is what
folder.
I mean.
No, not
It
the
filters
folder.
the
Not the folder. Not the folder.
Content inside the text file.
Okay. I'm muting everybody. Then I'm explaining. It basically prints this text file on the terminal, right? So that is, can I say that this output which we are getting I'll just quickly.
No, the files. Use the command view text files which you write in nano command.
Not exactly, but any file. It gives the output of any file. As you can see, the cat text file, it's very big, right? So it basically prints whatever is there in the text file. If I do this, this is the what is there in the common.txt text file. So it's very big. It just prints it out on the screen. So can I say that this is its output? This is the output of the cat command. Can I see this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll go back to the original command which we are talking about. Now what this pipe does is, it takes the output of this and gives it as the standard input of this. How many of you have younger brothers or sisters or elder ones? Has it ever happened that something belonged to your brother and your mom takes it away from him and gives it to you? Especially with school stuff, like भैया का पुराना uniform तू पहन ले, like भैया your elder brother's uniform.
Yes.
It happens with all of
Yes.
Okay, so what was your brother's output? Your brother's you outgrew that uniform. That is the standard input, right? You knew that every year you have to use your brother's last year books, your brother's uniform and stuff like that. It's the same thing here. It takes the output of this particular thing, which is the pipe. It takes the output of this and gives it as the input to this command. Same concept. Now I'll explain this part. What this grep command does is, it searches for this pattern ABC in the entire input. So in the entire input of that big list, we had only these 4 lines matching this particular pattern. You can see ABC 1 2 3, ABCD 1 2 3 4. So it took the entire output of it and searched through all of that to find this particular thing, this particular pattern, and gave it out. Clear to everybody?
Sir, can you please explain here on the so much disturbing noise behind it?
Okay. I'll explain it again. You see, this cat command gives a very long output. Now what if we want to support a very particular string inside it, whether this particular word is there or not? So what we do basically is, we give this cat command, we use this pipe. What this pipe does is, it takes the output of this particular part and gives it as an input to this. So it has the input of that very big list. Now the grep command does is, it searches for this particular pattern, this ABC pattern in the entire list. And wherever it finds a match, it prints it out. So it basically helps us sort through it. I want you guys to take a moment and understand each and every portion of this particular command, because it is very crucial. We are doing piping stuff, we are writing stuff every moment in the computer. This is very helpful, where we have to use multiple commands to single line. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, can we say that this grep command is search command, or whenever we need to search a word, particular word or related word, so we can use grep command?
I would have said that, but grep does a lot more than that. In fact, fun thing is, you can even search through bytes using grep. You can just search through byte data using grep. So it's a search command, but very modified and advanced.
So what if we don't have the continuous pattern, like we have the first, third and fifth digits but not the intermediate digits?
I didn't get your question. What's that?
So like in this pattern, we have the first, second and third digits, first, second and third letters as A, B and C.
Okay.
But what if we have a pattern?
I get your question. In those cases, what we use is known as regex. Regex itself is a humongous topic. Basically what regex does is, it searches for a very particular patterns using short terms. Like suppose I'm doing, let's see if we can
execute this right here. I'm not very sure. Okay, great. Wait, but it's a, I guess it's a tad bit complicated to explain. I'll just go with a simpler example. This also gets too many outputs. It gives too many outputs. That's why I wanted something which is, a bit less intensive. I'll give you guys an example. Let me show you this GitHub repository. It will be much more clear. Anybody here does Python programming?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
those who are in Python, you guys will be knowing regex very well because there is a library for it. So what regex basically does? Okay. So what basically regex does is it uses symbols, very special symbols to find out patterns and stuff like that. Wait, I'll go to GitHub and open a repository which me and my friends made for COVID-19 reporting. Okay, so this is just a very short example right here. Can you see this very complicated line of code? Anybody?
Yes, sir, yes.
So those who know about HTML, a basic idea about it, you will find very interesting words like div, class, span right here. So what's happening right here? I'll be muting everyone. Guys, pay very close attention. Very close attention in here. Those who are familiar with HTML and stuff, they might be recognizing these particular words like div, class, span tags. The basic principle of this program is it requests a website, and in websites we have these tags. So we wanted to remove this. We wanted to remove these tags and stuff like that. So what a very basic idea was, we used regex because somewhere we will find that along with the span tags there are certain stuff associated, like suppose ID is associated or CS stuff is associated. So we needed to remove those. For that we use these symbols. You see, these are stars and question marks. Regex has an entire field of its own, which is regex stands for regular expressions. So this was still in Python. Let me show you something which is in shell script. Shell script is a thing which runs on bash and stuff like that. So wait a minute, I'll just go to the code. Okay, this will be a bit more familiar and you might be able to understand what I'm trying to do here. You see, so I am the contents of a text file. Removes everything between the tags and gives me the contents. If we go for a HTML page, let's go to any HTML page, and we look at the source code. You see, when we talk about tags, there's a lot of information which we might need to filter. Okay, suppose in this particular website I want to filter out this particular aspect, this particular lines, and I want just to get this particular piece of text, project goals. what I have to do is I have to remove everything from here to here. So as you can see, somewhere it is written goals, somewhere it is written downloads. I just zoom in a bit so that you guys can see. You see, there is a pattern, but not a very strict one. Like here, the names are different. So if we go for the usual remove, so it becomes very tedious. So likewise, what the initial question was, we need to remove a very particular part of it, and we know a general pattern. We know that all of these are ending with a quotation mark and one of these brackets. So we can specify regex in such a manner that it will remove everything between two tags, this and this, which is exactly what is being done here. So that's how we specify patterns and stuff like that. This might seem a bit complicated right now. Don't worry, because regex is something which is very difficult, and honestly it's not that hardcore into security stuff as well. But yeah, when we're using Linux, we are using regex all the time. In fact, you guys remember I showed you command ls start. Here the start command is acting as a regex. Here, so I hope this will be clear for the time being. If you guys want to study about it, go ahead. There's a lot of open source information available there, so it's not going to be an issue. So other than that, are there any questions, or are we moving on to permissions and stuff like that? Oh, we have got still some basics left.
So how to copy multiple files at once?
Multiple files at once, you see, it's quite difficult because we have to specify. The copy command takes only two arguments. So at using one command, you can just copy one file. Like what happens in a Windows system is, again we can use regex. Again here, this is a brilliant example. Okay, so you see we have a code here. We'll make another program called let's say code COAT. It's a directory. Okay, we have code, anything more with CO. Okay, no, don't say the things which are coming to your mind. I'll go for it. Oh, I exited my terminal. Shit. Wait, no, I'm here. I'll make another, let's say color. No other stuff. Okay, we have three directories with the name code, color and stuff like that, right? We make another directory, let's say save. Oh, sorry, we have to make it. And I move into here. So suppose I want to copy code, color and all of those from there to here. What I'll do is cp, because we are copying, -r because the directories are not empty and they contain stuff like the code does, other two are empty. Then we specify the file. We use the shortcut of it because two dots and a slash to move one folder above. There we search for all the lines which start with CO, and then you put this star. What this star basically does is it says that everything after CO, and then we put a dot, which means copy these here. And if you do an ls, you see all everything which started with CO is here. So that's how we copy multiple files from one place to another. So is the question answered?
So, but what if we have files with different names like cat,
That's
man,
that
machine, etc.?
that's where things become tricky. You either have to go for regex or stuff like that, or you have to do it one by one. Otherwise, even a better approach, you can write your own programs. That's
Bro, can
always
we,
welcome.
bro, even I have a doubt. Can we copy them with using slashes?
Copy them using slashes mean? I didn't get you exactly.
Means
Slashes are nothing of as such value. They just mean they're a division between two directories. Other than that, it's nothing complicated. They don't have any separate functionality as such.
no. I was asking, can we add them with a slash? Means how we copy multi? Means can the slashes act like an commas or something?
That's what slashes do. They separate files,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean you can copy it. What you are saying is like we can cut a potato with a knife, but can we move a water bottle, or can you remove something with a knife? So see, these are kind of unrelated questions, and so that's what it sounds like. Slashes just do one thing. They don't have a functionality. They are separated, like this, like a wall. They separate two rooms. Similarly, slashes just separate two names, so that the we know where to go. That's it. No more technical stuff there.
Okay. Means we use slash only to move from one directory to other, or from file to file. Okay.
No. We use slashes to specify different directories. That's it.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
use slashes to specify that these are different directories. Okay. This confusion is, I see this confusion is quite common right now. What I'll do is I'll just move up. As you can see, if I do an ls start, you can see under save we have two a file called as, so not file, a folder called as code. I'm making another folder. I'll call it code. Now cd save code and cd slash save slash code, different locations in memory, right? Everybody? Those who are confused about the slashes? To have a differentiation between these. Without the slash, it becomes that and that becomes this. So this is all where slashes come in. And there are no more technicalities or hidden stuff here. That's it. I hope this will make it clear.
Okay.
Now we will go into a bit of difficult stuff, which is adding or removing users, permissions, and stuff like that. So before that, do we have anything else? Oh, we have got certain commands here and there. Okay, let's do the trivial ones because permissions are something which will take time. Okay, so last day I was asked whether, like in Windows, we have a control manager where we can see how much of the process is used, how much of a disk is used, and stuff like that, right? In Linux, we have similar utilities. We have a lot of utilities. As you can you guys see the top panel, and there are three little stuff here. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You have muted yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
So as you can see here, it is showing the processor 64% in use, memory is 68%, and stuff like that. So other than this, like there are a lot of tools out there. There is the top command. The top command here, it gives me the process ID, the user who is running the process, and the CPU usage associated with it. As you can see, team is using 110% of my CPU right now, which is funny. Okay, so apart from talking about the poor configuration of my desktop, there are a lot of other functionalities. Like if you want a more comprehensive approach, oh, window size is creating this issue, right? See, can we have a window size set? No.
Hello,
This
sir.
window size. Yes, go ahead.
How can we set a customized size of our screen in virtual machine? As it,
Okay, that's not directly related to the things at hand, but that's for that you will need something known
at
as
the end, you just
VirtualBox guest
at the end you
additions.
just tell me.
Not right now. This is not relevant to this session, but yeah, ping me up after this session. I'll send you a link to how to install VirtualBox and stuff like that. I'll get back to the
Sure.
things at hand. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. So, yeah, questions?
Mentioned about top command. What's the difference between top and stop command?
What's the difference between top and htop? Let's see. Do I have htop installed? I guess not. Okay, I have. This is htop. Htop basically gives you a more graphical interface. Like you can see these monitors here and stuff like that.
right? And here you have the same old top command things. It's this top command and htop command. The only difference is one has more pictures and colors in it. Other is like embedded into the more terminal base. That's it. It's just how they present themselves. There's no other difference here. Any more questions, guys? In fact, I thought that I will dedicate the last 15 minutes solely to questions. So if you guys have anything, you can ask them. Relevant to this, like not VirtualBox and stuff right away, but anything from this Linux terminal and stuff like that. Otherwise, I'll show you guys some more functionality. Anything?
So you have tab completion feature here. Is this a typical feature related to Parrot? Because I do not
No,
have
tab
it in
completion
Kali.
is. You do not have it in?
Then Kali na.
Okay, sorry, yeah, I had to mute you. Can you just unmute? And as far as you're saying in Kali Linux, I have been using Kali Linux. I used Kali Linux rather for a considerable period of time, and I was using tab completion all the time. Like it's even there in Windows. If you go to the CMD in Windows, you people are not finding tab completion in Kali. Like,
tab
did you
is tab
specify
is
To find it.
tab is no, just press tab over it.
just press the tab button. Like suppose
Yeah,
I
it will
want
just auto complete.
It's not working in Kali.
okay, I'm showing you something. Like I want to CD, and if I put tab, I'll get the entire list. Then I put E and I press tab, I'll get the list of directories which is starting with D and stuff like that. And if you're not getting it Kali, you need to go to your configurations. Like that, this is the configuration folder. You have to search for the particular file right here. Where is the command actually? So that's something which you have to do on your own and look at what this error is, because tab completion is something you get even in Windows CMD. So other than that, guys, any questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what's the benefit of recursively copying or deleting a folder? I mean, why do we recursively do that?
Because when we just use the copy command, it throws us an error. This error is analogous to the Windows which shows that this file is non-empty and stuff like that, or contains more things inside it. Are you sure you want to delete it? You get this prompt in Windows. What Linux does is it throws an error, and what recursively does it goes down to the end of the file system, like along that path, and it copies everything from the deepest folder down the tree and back here. You guys know DOM? Those who are HTML, JS programmers, they must be knowing this thing known as a DOM. It's something of that kind, where we have this captured and bubbling, if I'm not wrong. We have these two approaches towards the DOM, right? So it's the same thing here.
So basically, it copies each and every file of that directory one by one while creating that
everything in the directory and in all the subdirectories. If you have suppose one directory, beneath it you have two more, beneath it you have two more, and beneath it you have some files. It copies everything down, starting down from the file up to the main directory which you were targeting to copy. So that's how it works.
Is it something that similar to what we do in programming? There also we do recursion.
That's where the term comes. That's where the flag comes from. Because
I got it. Yep, got it. Thank you.
Okay, so Anand, did I tell you guys about this command called? Hello? Do you guys know about this command called history? Did I tell you about it?
Yes, sir.
No. Yeah, you told us.
I'll just go ahead and give a brief insight. So what happens is, suppose you forget what command we inputted and what did we do. So we can just go for history here. So another thing is which I guess you guys should know is where history is located. So if we do ls minus a flag, you will see there is something known as dot bash rc. Where is bash rc slash history. If you cat this file, oh sorry, my bad.
That is bash. Yes.
Bash, sorry. You see, this is where the history stuff is actually located. It's all here. Another important file which you guys should be knowing about is this. Let's see how much you guys understood. ls minus a grep bash. So guys, what should be the output here? Only the files which contain the term bash, right? We are doing ls minus la, will be getting an output, will be piping to grep. Grep will search for this particular term, and you can see get two files. I showed you what bash history does. Now this very particular file, you see, this is executed every time when we open up a terminal. I guess this is when we open up a terminal or something like that. All that happens. In fact, if you want something to happen, open up a terminal. This is where you need to include it, either here or in the main bash rc stuff. You can see I added a hi in there. If I just edit this bash rc file, let me just get down. You see, I echoed a hi in here. If I wanted to do something else, like every time I open my without include ls minus a, we save it. Last day I showed you guys, and we open. We just exit this, not this one. We just open a new terminal and see. It automatically gave me the list of files as soon as I opened the terminal. So this is what bash rc does. If you want to customize your terminal key, every time I open it, this must be there on the screen. Every time I, just for fun stuff or things like that, this is where all you have to customize. Linux is a platform where you want to customize anything and everything. So you have that freedom with you when you're using Linux. So any more questions, guys? Because the next part is about permissions and all, and I don't really want to go into it today because I have to rush it then, and this is something you should not rush. So any questions?
Can we able to restore files or text files from into a report from rm command?
No, that's something you have to be very careful. Like what I did was, I'll explain to you guys something. Listen to this very carefully and never, ever, ever make this mistake. Like as many evers you can add. I'll just mute everyone again, sorry. Never ever type in this particular command, rm minus rf slash. Never do this. If you do this, your computer is wasted forever. So what basically this is? This is rm, right? Rm removes stuff. Minus r means recursive, means everything in the directory and its subfolders. Minus f means forcefully, means it does not show you any warning or stuff like that. It ignores all of that. And there is this slash. This refers to the root directory, which contains everything in your system. Every particular file, start from the bootloader to the terminal to anything you install and write, that's here. That's here. There's nothing above here. There's nothing above this directory. Everything is here. You don't want to move it, and this is the mistake which 90% of the first timers in Linux make. That's why I suggest people to use it in a virtual box, otherwise even you wouldn't be able to start up your machine. That's the mistakes you don't want to make. We also have this very cool file structure, but it again will take another class. So I guess I'll adjourn it for today. If you guys, do you guys have any questions? You must be having questions.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, regarding the CPU, I mean the copying command.
Yeah.
Yeah. I created a text file. Okay.
You
dot
created
.txt file.
named a.txt.
Okay, just tell me if I'm doing it right. Touch a.txt. Oh, sorry. Did I do it correct?
Yeah, and now
Okay.
a.txt has some content in it, like a story, a script,
Okay, let's
something.
say. Okay, I'll just.
A.txt, right?
If I now do cat a.txt, I have this content.
Now, if I want to copy hi to b.txt, a new file, what am I supposed to do?
Okay. So this is where we have more special stuff, which are these two arrows, this and this.
Okay.
You need to understand. If you see right here, that's what I did here, right? So in Linux, what we can do is we have these two special functionalities. What basically does it takes the output of one and stores it in another. Earlier one was piping. What piping does? It takes the output of one and serves it into the output of it takes the output of one and serves it into the input of other. This one just stores it. The echo command, like what I did here, let's run hello. We echo hello, right? So I suppose I want to store it in a file. I'll do it echo a.txt. So now if I cat a.txt, I have this hello in it. Suppose I want to add a line after hello. Okay. Suppose I want to add a line hello world. So what I'll do is echo world double arrows a.txt. This was something I was about to miss. Thank you for raising this question. So if I do that a.txt, you see I have got hello and I've got world. If I want to store it in b.txt, what I'll do is cat a.txt. I'll take the output and I'll store it in b.txt. And now if I do cat b.txt, you see I've got hello world. Now if you guys have noticed, I was using double arrows here and a single arrow here. Where do we have it? I guess a bit more. Okay. You see I used double arrows here and I use single arrow here. So what's the difference? Suppose I have a.txt, right? And I want to add hello world, and let's suppose I want to add another message. Echo hi. I want to echo it a.txt. If I just do cat it, you see this part is gone.
Yes.
So what basically happens is when we use the single arrow, it deletes the old stuff and it just adds whatever we are putting it. But if you use single arrows, suppose we want to put in echo hi world, and now if we use the double arrows, what it does it appends to it, right? It appends to this. Now initially there was this hi, now it appended these lines to it, and now we have hi world. Got it? Whoever had the question, what these two do?
Yeah, I got it clarified. I have another question, a similar one. Now, if a.txt has hi world. A.txt has hi world, and now you are supposed to copy hi world to b.txt with some extra. With something extra. With some extra words.
Some extra words. Will the words be before it or after it?
After it, anything is fine.
So okay, got it. So I'll add another complexity to your question. See, b.txt has something, right? We want to add hi world after this. Like we want this part to stay, we want this hello world part to stay, and we want to add after it. What we do is cat a.txt, we use the double arrows, to add to it dot b dot txt. And if we just now we view b dot txt, you see we added after it, but we want to remove whatever is there in b.txt, and then we want and replace it with our high word. What we do is cat a.txt single arrows b.txt, and now if we get b.txt, see high word. This much part is clear. I'll come to your question, but is this much part clear?
Yes, it's clear.
So now I'll write hi world there. And you said you want to echo something extra in it, right? So what we do
Yes.
is I'll do echo hello. Now I'll use these double arrows and add it. And if I cat p.txt, you see I have it here. Got it? And if we wanted to include it before it, we would have saved the content somewhere else in a local variable or something like that, and then we would have done just the same, just in a reverse manner.
I'm sorry if my question got, that wasn't my question. I'm sorry for that. What my actual question is, during the process of copying, like world and hello, hi world, since it's in b.txt, during the copying of hi world hello to a.txt, if I want to add something extra during the copying process, look, b.txt has hi world and hello.
Okay,
And
I got
after
it.
this, yeah.
You're saying in one singular process, so something
Yes,
like that.
in a single process. I want to echo something extra in it.
Okay.
Then,
So listen, what the problem right now is, you see, we are using some very specific commands, right? Like CP has very specific and limited functionality. Maybe you can extend it with the flags and stuff, but it has a very well-defined structure, right? Do you agree to that?
yes, I agree with it.
And similarly, these all have very specific architecture. What you can do is you can create your own command. In these, so under these circumstances, you can create your own command. You can combine these in such a way that what the result you get is you input three stuff, like you input, let's say I'll call the command xcopy. I'll borrow this name from Windows. Suppose I want this txt and I put some stuff here. So you can define a command called xcopy which which takes the contents of b.txt, puts it in a.txt, then appends this line to it, and it's not very difficult. Rather, we can even try doing it, but I guess that will be a bit lengthy. So shall we do it? We have got around 10 minutes. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see if we can make our own command. Nano ccopy.sh. So first thing which we need to do here is we need to specify what shall be running this command. Lastly, I said that bash, that shell is responsible for all of this stuff. So we indicate this basically indicates the shell which is going to be used. Now what we can do is we can even take inputs using so these symbols and stuff like that. But I'll just go for an easy way out. Let's say we've taken this variables v1. I don't exactly remember the syntax. It's been some time since I have been coding in shell. $2 v3 is $3. So okay, for the clarification of it, these basically takes in the three inputs from the terminal itself. So what this will do is it will take the contents of v1, $v1. This is a shell syntax. It will store into $2. Then it will echo $3. Sorry.
and it will store it in $2 as well. Oh, my mistake.
Space $V2.
Okay, I'm not yet sure whether this will run or not, but also I'm doing something which we'll learn later in permissions. Okay, so remember we specified three parameters. What we'll do is a.txt, b.txt, and let's say zts. This probably will return an error, I don't know. Okay, it did. Now let's see. Did b.txt have the, yes, there you see we made a custom command with our available tools, which basically this is what you were asking, right? It takes the contents of a.txt, copies into b.txt along with some text. Is this what you were asking? So
Yes.
as you can see, we can make our own custom commands combining the two. So it's not something very difficult as well. These are just, in fact, I guess we could be done with this as well. We could just use this part. Instead of these v1v2, we could just be using our usual symbols. So it's easy. Once you get the hang of the basic commands, it's very easy. Trust me, what we made, I did not know shell scripting that good back then, but I had a call with a friend at 8:30 in the evening and like, dude, we can make a thing to get the statistics of COVID-19 using terminal. I did not know any complex commands. I stayed up overnight, I did some research, yeah, I needed to do some of it, and by the next morning I had made a script which basically gave you the contents of the COVID command using the basic Linux commands, which probably after 1 month of practice, getting familiarized with the environment, even you guys can make. So that's how easy it is once you get this new commands. And if you think you don't want to use these commands, then you can even have the option of making your own shell codes, C programs and executables and whatnot. You can even use these stuff to append to and write to files. But I find these commands to be explicitly, helpful. But again, if you use C or shell scripts and stuff like that and make executables, they are more portable in a sense. So yeah, that's completely upon you guys. So guys, if we don't have any questions, I'll be just wrapping up my session for today. So anybody, any last questions? Just one more. Okay, one last question.
Could you please recommend a ebook that contains all of the Linux commands that we could easy to learn?
Ebook. Are you guys associated with our $0 security channel? I'll give you our own ebook on Linux commands, which is made by and curated by me and Harshit Anand, who's a senior from $0 Security. I'll be sending over that particular copy to you guys.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So as
Another question.
Yeah, hello.
Is it possible to copy some part of txt to txt?
See, likewise I said, these are the basic commands, CP and these arrows and stuff, these are the basic functionalities. How you may extend these, it's completely upon you. You can, that depends on how well you can code. You can take these and use these to make your own custom command. You can make codes, you can use the flags and stuff. So yeah, it's all out there. You have the ingredients in your hands. You just have to cook it up yourself. Or probably if you're lucky enough, somebody has already. Yeah,
Okay,
hello.
then is it necessary for b.txt to be existing?
Yeah, obviously. And then
Okay,
again, if you have the condition where if you customize a command or if you customize a terminal in such a way that you do not need a b.txt, I'll just give you an example. If this has come up, we don't have a c.txt, right? We didn't make one. I'll just change this name to c.txt, and see, we should be having it. We have it. C.txt. We have a c.txt. So it completely depends on how good you can customize the command.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how you cook it up.
I just forgot to say thank you, and I might have wasted your time. Thanks a lot.
No, it's
Bye.
okay. Everybody should know this stuff. It's fun. Like when initially I was learning Linux, I used to make a lot of mistakes. I showed you guys rm minus rf slash. I removed my entire directory. I removed my binaries. I couldn't access my system. It wasn't even booting. So these are the kind of errors which I have made, and considering those, these are nothing. Trust me. And if you don't make errors, how are you supposed to learn? You have got to stay up at nights, fix up errors. I'll try to get a session with somebody who from our organization who's known as Spanda. I call him the Linux genius. And when he will take a session, it will be much more technical in nature. Like what I personally believe is bringing things down to earth, but he is a very hardcore Linux guy, and his sessions are very technical and very interesting. He will show you guys how you can customize your Linux in whatever way you want, and it's going to be very, very interesting. It's very interesting, and so hopefully we will have this sometime this weekend. Guys, stay tuned, and as usual, before I close the class, feedback, guys, and share it with your friends. Help the community grow. We have a
Hello?
humongous target, and we are already international. We have associations in 11 countries. We have students from multiple states and nationalities under us. So please recommend this to your friends, your circle, and whatever. And let's help us grow a lot. And
Hello?
okay, we have a question. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello? Sorry, sir. Sir, I don't know what happened. Suddenly my session got ended. Did I miss anything in the last 5 to 10 minutes?
And nothing of importance. Your next class, however, shall be a very important class. I'll try to get Spandanda on board because he is a genius, and there you will learn the ins and outs of a Linux system, like in depth as it gets. It's going to be very technical, so I seriously suggest you guys play around the system, study for some time, do your own research because it's going to be technical. It's just not going to be simple moving stuff and copying stuff and stuff like that. So be prepared for it. Go through our videos, go through our previous lectures which were given and uploaded on YouTube. Get a taste or get a flavor of the subject, and see you guys in next session. And guys, before closing in, do recommend us to your friends. Follow our social media. You guys know we are on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, even on GitHub. Follow us there, and follow and share to your friends. And yeah, the usual.